I am so excited for this video. I had to wait an extra day because it was super cloudy, super stormy yesterday. But today I'm going to talk about it and oh my goodness, I am so ready. Hello friends, happy Friday. So very excited that you're here. I'm doing another first impression manga review because 2 weeks ago, I asked you guys which of these mangas should I review or should I review both of them? And that was Tales of the Tendo Family, which I reviewed last week. And then today I'm also keeping my promise of reviewing it. And that is The Villainess's Guide to Not Falling in Love. This is by Square Enix. It is the first volume, which I guess would make sense for a first impression, but sorry, I'm just overly excited, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I was influenced to pick this up, and I'm gonna leave a link down below to the reel I saw on Instagram that put this on my radar, and I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I even went on Instagram, I think it was like that night, or no, I didn't share about the reel at that time, but I went and asked, had anybody read this? Did they have any thoughts on it? Because I really want it. Had a coupon and some extra like rewards cash, so I got it basically for free. It was so worth it. It was so worth it. I try really hard not to be influenced anymore because I'm like, gotta stick to that budget, but this was 110% worth it. Loved every single moment of it. So let's go ahead and talk about what this manga is about so I can go ahead and gush, ramble, all the excited, non-spoiler thoughts because it was so good. And just past me, I don't know why she was sleeping on this. I don't know why she was, but I'm not for future volumes, so it's all okay. But yes, this manga is about our main girl. Her name is Luciana, and she is a 30-year-old woman who has been isekai'd, reincarnated into the villainess of her favorite otome game. It is a romantic one, and there is love interest, and like most villainous manga, she's like, I'm going to avoid the love interest and I'm just going to live a peaceful life, going to turn my life around and live as quietly as I can. But as we all know, that never happens. That never happens. And so Luciana, has this plan in mind, but things pretty much quickly backfire, and here she is finding herself more involved with the love interest in this game. That's pretty much the overall premise, though I really love Luciana a lot. She is before she's reincarnated, our main girl from Japan, who is a 30-year-old woman who had no experience in romance or love. She just actively binge played this game so many times, knows the characters inside and out, or so she thought, because I guess that'd be a great place to start. What makes this villainous isekai manga stand out from all the other villainous isekai manga? I think it's because she's a 30-year-old woman who doesn't have any experience in romance, and you can really get the feel of how much she loves these characters, which is probably true for any villainous manga, but she loves them. And what's so great with that is, for example, this guy here, their first interaction, he gets really in her face. She is holding her breath. She's like, did this guy just cast a spell on me? I can't breathe. And she gets so blown away by how handsome that all these guys are. And when she hears this guy, who is her brother, when she hears him talk for the first time, because in the game, he didn't even have a voice. Now in the real world, in real life for her, he does. And she mentions often in the beginning, like not annoyingly so, but enough where you can feel her excitement to like, wow, I'm seeing something that wasn't in the game, is she talks about how handsome, or mentions how handsome his voice is, how wonderful he sounds. And I feel like that's what makes it different, is she knows these characters, or she feels that she knows them, but as she continues to go on in this world, she realizes that there's things she doesn't actually know. She had one view of her brother, thought he was a certain way, only for the volume to go on and her realize he's not quite what she expected. The same could be said for this guy. He is nicknamed the walking statue because he never smiles. His face is always so emotionless, or unemotional. Hopefully that makes sense. But unless his younger sister's with him, he just doesn't express any kind of emotion. So she is caught off guard when she hears things about him from his sister, an example being that he's a worrywart, and she's like, what? This guy is? And I really enjoyed that. I love seeing her where she knows this game. She's played it so often. She knows what's going to happen next. But yet her as a main character is discovering new things about these guys that she did not know. And another thing I think was really interesting about this is often when you have these villainous where they're reincarnated, they're a new person, they really treat their new world like a game. They try to either avoid the red flags, which our main girl definitely is trying to do that that because in, I think it was like 6 months, that is when she meets her doom. That's when the heroine comes on and she knows it's going to be the end for her. So she's also trying to avoid her red flags in this volume. But what's interesting is, yeah, other villainous manga I've read is they try and avoid those red flags so they don't trip anything that's bad that's going to happen. But in this manga, Luciana, she realizes, like, there's a scene where she's like, this is not a game. This is real life. These are real emotions that I'm feeling, because she realizes something bad is really going to happen to this one character and she has to make a choice. Is she going to just let the game go on and let this event happen, even though it's not going to personally affect her majorly? Or is she going to step in and help save this person? It's like she's at this crossroads where she has to decide, am I just going to let this game unfold how I've always played it? Or am I going to live my life as this new woman, as this villainess, and actually make changes for the sake of other people, not just so I don't trip the red flags? And that was very new, I feel like, for me, that I have not seen or experienced quite the same way I have in this manga. I had to go find the page and actually say what she is saying. But she's like, this world is real. I'm not dreaming this pain or these emotions. It's just like the game, but there are no do-overs in real life. I feel like she's treating this new life as an actual real one, where she's not just the villainess, where everything is plotted out for her. She can actually make active decisions that are different than the game and change how things are going to be. She doesn't wrestle, I feel like, quite as much of, I can't change things. Things have to stay the same, unless it's the red flags. That's the only part of things that must change. Everything else must unfold like the game. She is not living that out in a strict kind of way, and really enjoyed seeing that unfold in this volume. And I really love, I'll admit, one reason I really love villainous manga is I love how these characters come in, they're reincarnated into these bodies of villainous. The old villainess was really mean, really evil, just nasty, and usually is stuck on this one prince who wants nothing to do with them and always chooses the heroine. This is typically how it always goes. But I love when they're reincarnated and they are a brand new person and they have to break all of the rumors that have been surrounding them or the actual truth that has been surrounding them. It's like they're instantly set up where everything is negative towards them and they have to find a way to overcome that negativity, overcome bad things that are being said about them, bad things being done to them. I really love thriving and seeing that, and I feel so bad. I feel bad saying that. And Luciana is very much, hands down, one of those characters, and it was very satisfying that one of the characters who has always thought very shallow of her and thought very negatively of her, seeing his view change at the end, calling her beautiful, calling her some good words instead of some mean, unkind words about her because of her past actions. Luciana has really, really changed. I love how that is unfolding. I live for that. That is why, specifically, I love villainous isekai, villainous manga, and can't get enough of it, even though I know a large part of the community is like, please, can we be done with this already? Anyway, ramble aside, I loved the male love interest, or at least one of them. These two guys are the main focus. This is her brother, and I really, really liked him. He is a very fun kind of character. He's very flirty. He seems very unserious, and yet he knows how to press Luciana's buttons, and they bicker so much. I was living for it. I really loved his page time, and I'm definitely hoping we see more of him, because when I was looking at volume 2 and volume 3, because I will be pre-ordering both of them, when I was looking at volume 2, I'm pretty sure he's on the cover of the next volume, which I hope means we will see more of him, because I really like him and how there's more to him than what Luciana has known, what we are learning about him through her, internal dialogue, and how, yeah, there's just more to him, and it is very, very great. I always enjoyed seeing him on page, especially near the end. Typically, his hair is down, but there was one moment in this epic fight battle where his hair is tied up, and I was like, you look so great, buddy. You look so great. I guess this isn't a good photo or picture because you can't see, he's right here, because you can't see his little ponytail, but I loved it. And I was like, dude, this is a new vibe. Hope you wear this more often because you look great and you look cool, and I'm just really, really digging it. So I I loved him a lot. Lots of fun when he was on page. This guy is nicknamed the Black Lily, and from the time he first spoke to Luciana, it wasn't even like a good thing that he said. I was sold. I was like, I'm instantly shipping you with the main girl. You're amazing. I'm here for it. The more I learned about him, the harder I fell for him and wanting him to be with Luciana. Like, I need the ship to sail. But Luciana, she makes a comment when there's this epic battle that is unfolding, and I mean epic, and we will talk about it because it was very good. Her brother and the Black Lily, they basically team up in this moment. They had needed Luciana to do something that involved magic because there is magic in this manga, and I actually really like how unique it is. But anyway, she's seeing him and seeing how strong he is because he has a very prideful heart, and that might sound bad, I guess, but in the sense he feels since he's very strong, he's very good at magic, it is his job as a strong to protect the weak. Luciana doesn't really have magical abilities. I mean, supposedly I think the blurb says, yeah, she possesses incredible unparalleled magical abilities. We see a glimpse of that at one point, but I don't know fully what that means. We don't really see her magic. All we really know is that she is a noble and all of the nobles have strong magical abilities, yet she doesn't really have any. But during this epic battle, when she's seen just how amazing the Black Lily is, and she's like, I swear, he's as beautiful on the inside as he is on the outside. And this is the one I wanted to say. If I were a run-of-the-mill villainess, I would have fallen for him in an instant. I was like, girl, what's that say about me? Because I fell for him for your behalf here, Luciana. And I'm like, am I a run-of-the-mill villainess? Because he just was so captivating. I thought he was beautiful inside and out. Really, really enjoyed seeing him on page. He just shined in the coolest of ways, trying to find like a non-spoiler, like this is a great one. You can see him being epic with his magical abilities and just how cool he is. And we see so much of this. It's funny, I started this book, I think it was maybe like 9:30, 10 o'clock or something. No, probably not. I think it was closer to 9:30. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna read half of it and then I'll go to bed about 10. No, that did not happen. I think I stayed up till like 11 o'clock-ish because there was no good stopping point. It just kept getting better and better as I read. Talking about that fight was epic. I feel like in most villainous manga, when we have some kind of fight that's taking place, usually there'll be a big build-up and then there's only maybe, we'll say, 2 to 5 pages, maybe a little bit more of this fight scene. Definitely not a chapter's worth long. This was a chapter worth long battle, and this battle was engaging. It had some monsters that were involved, and there was some humor that was laced in there. Really, really well done because you have this angst and you have this tension, and then you'll just have this like one moment of a little bit of humor, and it is like perfect. You're like, whoo, that was pretty good. That was a good moment. But it doesn't pull you out where you're suddenly like, you know, laughing really hard and like, I can't get back to it. No, it just lightened the tension a little bit. So you're not like, you're leaning in reading, but you're not leaning in reading so far that you're about to fall off your couch. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I really liked the fight scene, and for it to last a whole chapter without feeling slow, without feeling it was dragged out, it was the perfect amount, was mind-blowing. I have never experienced that in a villainous manga before, where it was, like I said, just drawn out, and it was so good and so epic. I know I keep using that word, but like there's no other word to compare, I feel like, does that battle justice, and it was so well drawn. Like here it is. Hopefully nobody's afraid of snakes because snakes were involved, and they looked so good. They looked so good. I feel like everything was just brought to life, and I really loved it. I really loved it. I'm trying to think of what else to say, but it was very, very good, and I was thriving off this art. I mean, this manga is beautiful, absolutely stunning. Look at this color page. I love this color page. Hopefully you can see it. So bright and colorful, but that's sort of like repeating myself, but it's really bright, and I just really love the colors that are used, even when it is black and white. Everybody is just so beautiful. Loved reading it. Like visually, it was so pleasant, and I'm just like, wow, this is incredible. It was incredible in every way, and I felt so blown away. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't believe I was sleeping on this, and it's one I'm definitely going to be picking up more of because I'm very interested in seeing what exactly is going to take place. And I will add to this that I love where Luciana was not afraid to embrace her inner villainess so that she could be able to not manipulate a situation, but she's like, okay, the Black Lily, for example, he's expecting me to be one way. I have got got to pull out my inner villainess so that I can convince him that somebody he knows is in danger, and I hope that he will just believe me. It never felt boring for 1 minute. From like the time that I started reading, I was already laughing. I felt Luciana was a really relatable character, like in the sense that if I ever got reincarnated to an otome game, like, yeah, this is how I probably would act. And so I loved it. But I will wrap it up there. That was a lot of rambling, but good rambles. I love this. I've been waiting, like I said, the past day, since yesterday to film this video, and I hope I did it justice. Please check it out. If you love Villainess manga, do not sleep on this. Do not be like past me. It is wonderful in every way. The storytelling is super engaging. The art is very beautiful, and the action that unexpectedly takes place is very, very good. It has a little bit of everything, has its own unique flavor for a Villainous manga, and very much will be checking out the next volume. I would love to hear from you friends though. Do you enjoy reading Villainous manga? Do you have any Villainous manga recommendations that you haven't seen me talk about before? Totally let me know, because I'm always on the lookout for more. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!